That fire ass intro. Shout out to me.
Bless that bitch.
What's good, fam? Gentlemen, we in the building.
Dude, how about this? We got TK, the Ozark Ike of the Appalachians, in the house, baby.
That's right. Shout out to TK, Uncle Bebop, representing West by God. Hey, nephews, you don't want to make Uncle Bebop mad. He'll be walking by your bedroom with dong hanging at like 2 in the morning, running through your moms if you do. That's your mother's keeper right there. Shout out to TK.
Yes.
Gentlemen, we're gathered here tonight because it's Ask Your Favorite Uncles, and we're here to grant the nephews with some of that wisdom and knowledge we have gained along the way.
Yes, sir.
So everybody watching, allow me to introduce myself. My name is William, and welcome to my channel. It's called William the Conqueror, and I only got one question for you, nephews. Can you even conquer yourself? Johnny, go ahead and introduce yourself tonight, brother.
Hey, I'm Johnny Dumbbell, personal trainer and life coach out here in beautiful Pittsburgh, PA, where we just celebrated one hell of a sports weekend. The Buccos won Saturday and Sunday. The Riverhounds won Saturday night. And, of course, well, the Steelers failed to lose. It's kind of what really happened. It was a terrible game. But a win is a win, and it's been a great weekend, so it's been kick-ass. But as I was saying, I'm a personal trainer and life coach out here in Pittsburgh, and I'm here to discuss with especially you younger men or men struggling in the dating world, relationship world. And believe me, we got a couple of nephews we're going to talk about today. But I'm here to show you more about my failures when it comes to self-confidence, self-respect, women, relationships, self-improvement. And by that, I mean mental, physical, and spiritual, emotional, whatever you want to call it. In short, I have screwed up so many things in so many ways that I can guarantee you that if you are thinking of doing something, and it sounds stupid, fiscally, financially irresponsible, a little bit crazy, or possibly simpish, before you do it, you're looking at now three, count them, 3 men who have put themselves through the ringer enough times that you shouldn't have to. So leave that in the comments. Shoot us a message before you do it. We might be the uncles the whole family talks about, but believe me, you can learn from our screw-ups. You just got to listen.
Shout out to Johnny Dumbbell. Hey, Uncle Bebop, man, you want to introduce yourself for all our viewers tonight, sir?
Uncle Bebop, aka TK, from West by God, Virginia. The coolest country boy, you know. Other than that, I ain't really doing shit, man. Just chilling.
All right, Johnny. Well, why don't you kick us off tonight with our first question? And shout out to you nephews for writing in and asking your questions. We appreciate the chance to be of service and just help you out any way we can with our knowledge.
That's right, guys. And if you're watching this on my channel, my email address is in the description. So when you hear questions if you have questions that you want to send in, please shoot me that email. It's the easiest way to get a hold of me, and we will cover them on the air if we're able to. This one is actually so this one right here. Oh, and by the way, before we get started, sell an argument for me. Who would win in a fight between Harry Potter and Luke Skywalker? Leave it in the comments. Anyhow.
Luke Skywalker, man, we all know this. Come on,
with a Jedi.
I don't disagree. So we all think it's Luke Skywalker. So if you disagree, you want to give us a little counterpoint in the comments, please.
Really,
there's no way.
No, I don't want to get off track, but yeah, Johnny, put it in the comments.
Hey, these are the important issues we need to tackle. Okay, I know there's
you wild for that one, bro.
Anyway, so the sooner we all agree, the sooner this world will be a better place. All right, so we've got question 1 from Stuart. Stuart says, and this is an interesting question. Why are women older than me drawn to me, but women the same age or younger are not? He says, I'm 33 years old, and he says, I'm 33 years old last week. So first of all, happy belated birthday, Stu. Secondly, I have an active social life, and I interact with a lot of women of all ages. Now, something I've noticed is that women older than myself, 40s and up, are drawn to me, whereas women my age or younger are not. I'm not trying to humble brag. I'm genuinely baffled. And if I'm being honest, I'm kind of frustrated. I'm not interested in dating older women, but they're the only ones who seem open to it. The women that I'm interested in dating, I'm assuming he means his age and younger, they're not rude or anything. There just seems to be this, and he puts it in quotes, invisible wall that they put up that says, I'm just not interested in dating you. I've been told repeatedly, now here's the thing. I've been told repeatedly that I'm not creepy, repulsive, rude, or anything else that might be a disqualifier. So what's the deal? First of all, if you've been told those things, I'm going to guess you probably asked them.
Yeah.
Do we ask those
thing.
things? No.
Look, man.
TK, we've been for you so long. Yeah.
Listen, it's your pheromones, my dude. It's all about your pheromones, man. The pheromones you're putting off are just attracting older women, man, and they're not the right kind of pheromones to attract younger women, and the pheromones they're putting off. Your pheromones are clashing with younger women's pheromones and mixing with elderly women's pheromones. Well, not elderly, but older women's pheromones. That's what it's all about, man. That's the animal attraction that we have that brings females in is our pheromones, man. It's a chemical thing that draws them in.
You know, as much as I preach biological attraction, you know, I can't believe I never thought about that before. Yeah, I mean, you know, not only is it a biological attraction for a woman to want to be drawn to a man who shows strength in both genes and ability to protect and provide and all that other stuff, but yeah, I mean, there is that first impression, which I think a lot of people probably include those pheromones. And again, it is kind of I mean, if what I've read about what you're talking about is true, it is a very subconscious thing and probably something you shouldn't take personally.
And it isn't even quite that, man. It's an unseen scent, just like animals have. That a buck out in the woods tracks down a bitch doe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a scent animal thing, man. You know what I mean? And something about his pheromones just aren't enticing the younger women. That's all. Or it could be a little something, you know, something about his personality in a small way that's you know, just attracting the older women and not the younger women.
Now that's where I think you're a little more on the mark, TK. Think about a personality and who this man is. Could it be that he is more easily finessed by a more seasoned woman? And when it comes to the women that don't have experience, they kind of see that lack of experience in him as well. Whereas a seasoned woman who is attracted to him doesn't mind of that lack of experience. They're willing to teach him a thing or two.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I mean, I think there's two factors at play here because, you know, I think number one, he's probably psyching himself out at this point. If he's noticing patterns, then he's already told himself that there's a pattern. So even if there isn't a pattern, he created one for himself. So that could be one possibility, I think. But another possibility.
I don't want to interrupt you, but we got some comments. We need to talk to the nephews here. In
sorry.
the comments. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have my glasses on.
Caden and Beaner Wiener want to talk about beer. And I got questions. What are you guys so concerned with beer for? Let's talk about you and how you can improve yourself and your situation. If you guys want to talk about beer, cool, we can talk about it, but I'd rather talk about you and the things and how to help you with your dating. Like, tell me about your online dating profile. Tell me about some of the girls you hollered at today. Tell me about the dates you got set up for this weekend. Tell me about how your date was last weekend. So we can talk about Coors Light. We can talk about Voodoo Ranger, but I really want to talk about game here tonight. Who you going out with this weekend, Beaner? Who you
gotta be able to multitask, fellas.
Yeah.
Okay, Caden says he's never dated online. Why is that, sir?
I mean, hey, look, if you're better at it in person, hell yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like I am.
Okay, well, the online is just where you're meeting him at. It's really no different than meeting him in person because you're still presenting a version of yourself. And as long as that's a genuine, authentic version of yourself, it doesn't matter if you're online or in person, you're going to hit home runs out the park.
Yeah. I mean, especially once you can sit down and actually have that confident conversation. Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. So Caden, you say you're better in person.
Hey, I get it. I am too.
I'm with that. Me too,
last
man.
weekend, Caden? Who Okay, there we go. Plus, I'd rather not risk it. I was waiting for you to say something fear-based when it came to women.
You don't get anywhere thinking like that, bro.
Caden,
yeah, I mean,
I think you should call in, sir.
Yeah, we're here, man.
We would love it if you'd call in so we can ask you more questions about this. Because I'd love to know what you'd rather not risk.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as our friend Stuart, while we're waiting for him to call in, yeah, I think it's either that or I think that you've asked if you were creepy, you've asked if you were repulsive or rude or anything like that. So you're trying to get other people's opinions, and it depends to me on who you're asking, because now you're talking about showing not only a lack of confidence but a paranoia that you need to know, whether or not this is the case. If you don't like something about yourself, you should be discovering that in the mirror, facing yourself down every day, and doing something that makes you go to bed better than you were this morning.
Yep,
Okay,
exactly, bro.
Gentleman Caden says, I got many friends who end up getting catfished or some shit.
Yeah.
Caden, just because your
I've
friends
seen
are
it.
suckers, that doesn't mean that you would fall for something like that. See, you have found our YouTube channel, so you now have a leg up on everyone else. Because
he's perfect. He's perfect for our Thursday show.
We're going to teach you how to vet women. We're going to teach you to do video calls. We're going to teach you what dates to take them on so you're not getting finessed. So you're going to be dating a lot better than any of your friends are within the next month or two. And they're going to be coming to you for questions. They're going to know, like, hey, Caden, how did you do that? How did you pull that one? So
she went after you
for a little bit. Don't worry about what happened to your friends. You're riding with us now. And okay, you said you fell for it before. So tell me how
we
you
all
got
have.
catfish,
We all
sir.
have.
Johnny.
Stop the cap.
Catfish. Come on, man. Now look. Sometimes
look, man, we had online dating in its infancy.
Like
so not only were
sometimes with the filters and with the makeup, and women can really change their whole aesthetic and the way they look with the right makeup and contouring and stuff like that. I get that. But catfished, come on, you should be a little bit better at vetting women.
Not in 2001 when online dating was in its infancy. Remember, I was 21 and online dating was a brand new concept. So yeah, catfishing was a lot easier to do back then just because people took you at your word like they did before technology. So I mean, I don't understand how they're falling for it nowadays with all the warning signs that you can see out there. But at the same time, in 2001, when online dating as a concept was 3 years old, that was something where, I mean, people who were highly intelligent were getting catfished before they ever gave a thought to the possibility of it happening. Now, the scams are going to become more complex and more complete. And I'm sure that nowadays there probably are some scammers that can probably pull it off. The problem is they prey on the weak-minded and the thick-pocketed. And that's what you got to look out for.
Your instincts, man. Your instincts should be guiding you in the right direction, man. You know what I mean? Your instincts should be telling you, man, this is bullshit. It don't seem right. It's too good to be true. You know what I mean? Your gut should be speaking to you, man.
Actually, Caden, I want to get everybody's final thought on question 1 before we move on, but I think you're going to want to stick around for question 2 because it does deal a lot with what you're asking about.
All right, Dino says he likes the shield in the background and asks if I'm an alliance or a horde supporter. Dino, let me tell you something else that's in the background. Hold on 1 second, sir. You see this, Beaner? This is a me pill. This is what I am. I take one of these every day. I'm all about me. So don't rock with Alliance or Horde. I rock with William the Conqueror because that is the most important person in my life. Shout out to me.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, Caden says he missed question 1. All right, John, hey, for the nephew, you want to read that back before we all give our final thought on it? Because look, the reason we do this, we want you guys to learn. We want this to be a forum where you can come ask your questions, express what you got going on, and get the game on how to move better going forward. Because it's cool to make mistakes. What it's not cool to do is give up. You can't, we're not okay with that. So no matter what you got going on in your life, no matter what hole you have dug yourself into, nephews, the men on this panel can help you out of it. So call in with your questions, write in with your questions. You have our full love and support right now. We want nothing more than to help you out.
Absolutely. So, so just to summarize, he's asking, this is Stuart was asking why women older than him seem drawn to him while women his own age just simply aren't. Not that they're rude, not that they are grossed out by him, but they're just not particularly attracted to him. So his thing is he's been told repeatedly that he's not creepy, repulsive, or rude, which means he's asked people questions because he's paranoid about what people think about him. And so he doesn't understand what he's doing that might be a disqualifier. So he wants to know what's the deal. Now, Uncle Bebop here, he says that it could be something as biological and natural and primal as pheromones. And I definitely think that there's a chance that might be playing a role. But I also think that there's a psychological aspect to it too myself. I think that, as I said before, I think he's psyching himself out by just assuming because he's already found a pattern he's already convinced himself that he can't get a woman his own age or younger. And I mean, first of all, as if that really made that big of a difference anyway. But the point is he's already psyched himself out of that. So now he's bringing the attention of older women, and that's he doesn't understand that. But I'm saying that I think that there's a part where he thought about it though.
When a guy or a female, okay, when you're in a different confidence level, say I'm going out, man, I'm kicking it, I'm feeling confident as a motherfucker, right? My vibrations, man, my vibrational frequency is completely different when I'm feeling confident. So therefore, I'm putting out different pheromones than I am if I'm not feeling confident. You know what I mean? And that's scientifically proven. So if you're going out, man, you're not feeling yourself, then your pheromones ain't right. Not only that, but subconsciously or just, your attitude isn't right, man. You know what I mean? So you're going to come off different ways to different females.
Okay, Caden says it's his primal sense because his brain made that connection, which means it's happened quite often. So he might have just natural better chance of getting older women.
I mean,
that's what I think it is too.
Really,
it could also
it's easier for them to control him. One thing he has not shown us in anything is his ability to lead women. He's not leading the situation. He's not dictating the terms. And so
I was just going to say that, cuz
he's going to be easily finessed by a more seasoned older women. They're going to be like, okay, hey, this is what we're doing. You're coming home with me. Where the younger women, he's going to be like, oh, well, what do you want to do? Netflix and chill? Where, you know what I'm saying? That older woman's going to take his ass to Pound Town. And so it's easier for him to pull them. Okay. But
I was going to, maybe it wouldn't go as far to say as that they think they control him, but they could be on the prowl and his attitude could be putting off a vibe that he's the prey and not the predator. You know what I mean? So them older felines, man, you know what I mean? They see him as
neck and dragging him up a tree. He's not out hunting. He's the prey. TK nailed it right on the. I'm telling you, TK, that is it. He's this little deer prancing around out in the woods, and the cougar comes across him.
That is such an Appalachian thing to say, and I love it. That's awesome. I mean, I agree, and that's just it. I mean, the thing of it is that, but here's the positive side of it. While he's truly psyching himself out with women his own age, he's got a certain sense of confidence because he feels so successful with the women that are older than he is. So, I mean, he's got that going for him on a positive side, but that's not what he wants. So the thing of it is if this is something that you want, you're going to have to set that as a goal. You're going to have to make a plan. What am I going to do to work on myself? Because here's the thing. You're not going to go out there and try to fit the mold of what you think a woman your age wants. And I think that might be part of your problem too. You want to go out there and show the world that you are on your own program and they have to make it onto it, not the other way around. And it sounds to me like you're trying to be their, you're trying to be their type. Yeah, you're trying to be their type.
All right, gentlemen, you guys each mentioned this, and I just would like follow-up answers from both of you. You said whether he's confident or not, or whether you have the confidence for that or not. True confidence is not conditional. You can't take my confidence away from me. You could take my clothes away from me before you could take my confidence away from me. So it's not situational. I'm not confident on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then on Thursday and Saturday, I'm not. Confidence, self-confidence comes from an unwavering belief in yourself, and it can never be taken away from you. So it's not that he has it sometimes, he doesn't have it. The man just doesn't have it, and he needs our help learning how to form that. So
I
what
believe that
I'd like to see us do is give him a little bit of game on how to move forward with a little bit of self-confidence, because that's what I see what his real problem is. Because honestly, he should be knocking all these women down. You know, the ones his age, the ones a little bit older than him, anything that comes across his path, he should be in their ear, letting them know why he's their best option.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's exactly it. He's going to have to like himself so much that he's going to want to be able to share that, what he likes about himself, with others. The way you would share your favorite movie or a song you heard already that's a fucking banger. You know what I mean? You want to share that with your friends? You should be sharing who you are with people, and you should be liking yourself enough to be eager to do that. If you're not, you got to work on yourself and worry about who likes you or whose type it is. No, don't worry about whose type you are. Worry about finding your type. You make the choices once you decide who you are.
You know, actions speak louder than words, man. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to tell anybody who the fuck you are. Mm-hmm. Your actions are going to speak for themselves, man. They're going to show people who you are inside and out. You know what I mean? And a lot of guys don't believe in this, but I do 100%. Right now I'm lounging, I'm wearing the muscle shirt and the ball cap because I'm country like that. But when I go out to pull some coups, man, you know what I mean? And I'm on the prowl for some boo-boos.
Oh, I've missed you.
I'm dressed to impress, man, because if you look good, you feel good. I mean, it's as simple as that.
I fucking love you, man.
So, nephews, let me give you a little bit of game on that. If you are going further than the mailbox, you are going to need a swag check, sir. You need to check yourself over in the mirror. You need to look at what you got going on. You never know when you're going to come across something that catches your eye. And you need to be ready for that. Nephews, we stay ready so we don't have to get ready. And I talk all the time about how you should walk and approach at least 5 women a day, and you got to be dressed to impress. So don't go out looking like some bum. No, if you're going further than the mailbox, nephews, swag check. Make sure the shoes are clean. Make sure the hat's nice and crispy. Make sure you're not smelling funky. And I'm telling you, it don't matter what you're wearing. Like TK's got a cutoff on. Johnny and I are white beaters all the time. It doesn't matter what we're wearing.
Wear white beaters.
Nice and
Wear
clean.
white beaters. Yeah.
Clean, nephews.
And by the way, if you think talking to 5, if you think talking to 5 girls a day is difficult, remember one thing. Every Thursday, I make Bill here swipe right on at least 3 young ladies on Bumble in the Youngstown, Warren area. So, you know, come on.
Wait till I get some meta glasses next month, bro. We're going to start grading my approaches. Shout out to me.
Oh. Hey, look, man. Hygiene is important too, fellas. You know what I mean? Man, a chick loves a dude who fucking smells yummy to them. You know what I mean? I got 4 or 5 different colognes. Some Father Christmas roll-on oil smells like motherfucking leather and bourbon and pipe tobacco. You know what I mean? I got something for every occasion, man. You should be going out smelling good. You know, where when you go by females and they don't even know you, you're with your woman, you're with whoever the fuck, they're like, God damn, you smell good. They want to get close to you.
Hey, shout out to Gucci by Gucci Cologne, Guilty. I love that stuff. Another one I like is the Givenchy Gentleman. I'm also rocking with a couple of the Versace colognes, bro. TK is right on point. You have to smell delicious to these women. I also got a couple different beard oils. I'm telling you, gentlemen, women love them a good smelling man.
Listen, man, every scent, and this goes back to the pheromones thing. Every scent, just because it smells good to you fellas, doesn't mean it's going to smell good on you. You have to find something that goes with your pheromones, that goes with your attitude, with who you are. You know what I mean? And it's going to smell times better on your skin than it is on the coming out of the bottle.
Yeah, the ones that talk about mixing well with your pheromones, most of that's horse shit. I got to tell you, I found that out the hard way. Trust me.
Okay, Jen says she is all over a man that smells good. Oh, don't worry, Jen. We know.
That girl. All right, so let's get on. We
Randy,
got
how
questions.
you doing this evening? Hey, better
Oh, there
late
she
than
is.
never. We're glad you could show up.
Yeah, absolutely.
She says, a good smelling man is a big turn on. Ladies, we notice we're trying to give the nephews the game, but we love it when you come in here and start co-signing everything we're saying. Shout out to
Yeah,
us.
that does help. Yes, absolutely. So Caden, I wanted you to kind of stick around for this question at least, because I think this kind of deals a little bit with what you're talking about. So this is from Dino, and Dino, obviously he's from Youngstown. Dino says, dating is making me resentful and I hate it. Matching on dating apps means nothing. No text back. Getting phone numbers from women mean nothing. No text back. Texting them first means nothing. No text back. Setting up initial dates mean nothing. Flake or no text back before or after the date. This guy's livid. As a single straight guy,
I'm glad you found us.
as a
Go ahead,
single
Johnny.
straight guy in his early 20s, this is actually starting to piss me the fuck off. I'm glad we changed the algorithm. And I notice I've been getting angrier and more easily irritated than usual since my breakup of 2 years in January. I've been trying to go out more, and yes, I do talk to people almost every time I go out to a bar or a coffee shop or an event. Granted, I go to them alone because I have no other choice. Oh, but you do.
Oh,
However,
wow, you
the
go
inconsistency
solo,
with these people makes me extremely upset to the point where I just hate every part of it, and I don't like that. That's not who I am, and I've never been one to be full of rage or full of giving up in my life. Johnny Dumbbell talked about that in one of your videos that I saw, which is what made me message you guys today. And he's right. But did you absorb the message that I was telling you about rage and anger? That's the important thing. Pay attention to that. Anyway, and I don't think he did, because he says it's even worse that I can't.
Off of this, Johnny.
Oh, listen, well,
and that's okay.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah,
I understand
no,
a lot of
definitely.
you guys have been led astray and you haven't been given the answers that you need, and you're coming out of these groups, these cults. So if you're an incel and you're in our chat, speak up. Let us know.
Here comes the telling part
for you.
Yeah, here comes the telling part of that. It's even worse that I can't fully control my dating situation. The fact that I can't guarantee myself anything when I go out. Like, dude, who can? I don't know if bars aren't for me or what, but I've been forcing myself to go every weekend for the last month. The only thing I get is what I stated in the beginning of this email. I'm not asking for marriage, for labels, and I'm not asking for forever. I just want time, effort, interest, honesty, and consistency. That's it. That's a pretty tall order these days, kid.
Caden says, I think you might have been gaining mental depression.
Absolutely. That's where it's going, too, because he says, you know what? Maybe I'm the fucking problem. Maybe I'm doing something wrong and I don't realize it. The bartenders even tell me that every time I go, I seem very. Hold on. This gets better. The bartenders even tell me that every time I go and I seem very uncomfortable and awkward, but I don't know what to do about it. Could there be something that I'm missing? Am I just unattractive? What is the secret that others seem to know and do better that I'm not doing? Your nephew is sinking, he says. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely giving off the vibe of he's tried to be the nice guy. He's portrayed character for a while. He's tired of portraying the character, but he's afraid that if he stops portraying the character, he really won't get the girl. He thinks that the effort that he's putting in and pushing forth and really kind of just forcing out there is is going unanswered. And the fact is, dude, it's not going unanswered. You're getting your answer. The answer is you're doing it wrong.
Caden says that he works as a doctor, and that's concerning to hear.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's a vibe I got too.
Johnny, we talk about this, that we run across young men all the time that hate themselves, and it manifests in different ways. So we teach self-love here, how to love yourself. Yep. And one of the things that you need to do is you need to stop all the negative self-talk, negative self-thoughts, negative self-speaking. You need to understand that your words have power. So stop talking down about yourself, nephew.
Dude, we don't like our nephews being talked badly about, even if it's by you. Yeah.
So
yeah, we don't want anybody talking you down, especially not you.
I understand that you're frustrated. I can hear it in your words. But I need you to know, I love going out by myself, and I don't even need to have a date plan. It don't matter, because I know how to have an instant date. I can be just out at a random bar anywhere and meet any random woman and be able to start talking to her and have a conversation that they're always interested in continuing, sometimes at another location. So,
as a matter of fact, the last time I got a phone number, I was out by myself.
yeah. Well, so those solo missions by yourself, that's something that you should be looking forward to. And when you're out there, don't talk to the bartenders. Look, we tell you this all the time, that there's two places you should never try to pick up women. And the first is the gym. Leave them alone at the gym. And the second place is their work. Anywhere a woman is working. The bartender, I think what he's saying is
he's using them as his therapist.
What's that?
I think he's saying he's using the bartenders as his therapist.
I get that, but
I just realized that
part of the problem is he's isolated, and the bartender's obligated to talk to him. So he should be talking to the women sitting next to him. I don't know how simps do it. Do you guys still buy women drinks? Let me know in the comments. I'm a big advocate for hashtag her debit card works too. And I can't even tell you the number of times women have just picked up the tab.
Yeah. But I mean,
Hayden says the best way he can fix that is self-confidence, and also saying you do great every morning, and also maybe try other places to gain women. Gyms and bartenders are not really the best to gain girls plus.
No.
Now,
I mean, the bar scene's kind of dead these days anyway. Yeah.
With the exception, okay, if it's a hot bartender and she knows you're not being creepy, you could get her to put you on with one of her friends. Or if she's having a party or something like 4th of July or Labor Day, whatever it is, you get an invite to that party, and then you can start macking on some of her friends.
Okay, but with the confidence level he has currently, he might want to just take the low hanging fruit and just take whatever offer he gets, because you are not going to fall, or you're not going to get someone to fall head over heels for you when the main motif of your life is sadness. The thing that I think you should do, and I agree with Caden on Dr. Caden on this one, respect. I agree with him on this one, because what I think, I'll even go more basic than that. You can start by adding a little consistency and structure to your life. You can start by number one. If you're watching this, I want you to wake up every morning and make your bed before you leave your bedroom. I want you to make that a habit every single day. I don't care if it's Sunday. You know why? Because the discipline and the structure you're going to need to make yourself and your life better does not know a day off. There is no day off. You are always you. You're always going to need to improve you. And I think that it's a good first step. And I also think that maybe if you're feeling up to it, if not, look, we're going to have to find another way to build your confidence. But I have had a lot of success stories from just completing the Johnny Dumbbell Challenge. And the fact is, you never really complete it. This is a start. I want you to go to the gym 3 days a week for 4 weeks. And after those 4 weeks are up, I want you to add a 4th day and go 4 days a week for 4 more weeks. I would love to hear how things are going. I'll love a follow-up email. Leave us a comment, whatever it happens to be. But yeah, I mean, I think that could be another way we can add a little consistency and a little self-improvement to your life that can make you feel a lot better about who you are. Because the minute you like you, and you'll know when you do, because you'll want to share what you like about you with other people, not just the girls you're trying to get, together with. But I mean, especially with in the business world and in really just about every aspect of life. But you're going to have to want to do it, and you're going to have to love yourself enough to do it.
Johnny Caden says, but now I think about it, if his self-confidence is the issue, there are many self-confidence programs, and also maybe therapy is a good place.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I go to it. I have a therapist myself, and I got to tell you, whether I feel like there's something wrong in my life at that particular moment or not, it's good to be able to go ahead and bounce things off somebody, because you don't want to have these repeating patterns in your life if they're going to repeatedly take you through that bad place. So they're going to repeatedly take you down that downward spiral. Yeah, absolutely, doctor. I think that's a great idea. I think that this is something that a professional could probably help him out with too, especially if we're going to try to build this guy's confidence from the ground up. We can coach you along your fitness path or your dating path, but I think that maybe your problems might be a little more fundamental than that and a little bit above our pay grade.
Well, here's the thing, Johnny. He's lonely.
Oh yeah,
He's
absolutely.
he's portraying that through his communication with not just women but men too. So he's got some things he needs to work on himself before he really should even be out dating.
No.
Now, what I would like to do is see him. I'd like to see him get in the comments like Caden is, like Clyde always does. What's up, Clyde? How you doing today, sir?
Hey,
Great to see you
all
here.
right.
Appreciate the support.
Clyde Cool
But
Jr., ladies and gentlemen.
Here's the thing. He's trying. He's making an attempt. He's going out into the world. He is going through the motions, though. I'd like to see him be more successful in his endeavors. So I'd like to talk to him a little bit about his approach. First of all, is he begging for phone numbers, or is he stepping to these women like a man and offering his number to them? So certain things dictate the pace for all of your interactions with that woman right from the very start. So I'd like to talk to him a little bit about the fundamentals and what he's doing when he initially makes contact with these women, and see if we can help him be a little more successful. Because as he gains more experience with the women, he will also gain more confidence too.
Yep.
So
Oh,
I'd like to see him do a little more of that. So if you could follow up with us, sir, next week,
please.
I would love to help you build a solid approach. And that's going to be your approach every time you step to a woman. That's not going to change based on where you're at or what she looks like, or really even who she's with. I love talking to a group of women, and hey, I'm hitting a home run there, Johnny. If it's a whole group of them, because the one that I may be liking, if one I'm attracted to, she might have a boyfriend, she might not be into me, but chances are there's another woman in that group that I'm going to have just as good of a time with. So
Absolutely. By the way, Clyde, if you just joined us, you probably missed the question earlier, so I'm going to give you a chance to comment on this. Luke Skywalker versus Harry Potter, who wins? Anyway, leave that in the comments. But yeah, I would definitely agree. I think
you need to be careful with self-depreciating humor. It does take a toll on your mentality. Find something else to make fun of, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to kind of be a little bit more. He's got to be a little bit more positive about himself. And if he doesn't do these improvements in his life, he's going to be sitting around like I used to, waiting for somebody to knock on his door and say, "Hey, I'm here to improve your life." That day is never going to come. And that's the kind of thing that Dino's going to need to remember going forward. And he's going to need to remind himself of that as he's making his bed. He's doing it because nobody else is going to do it. He's going to have to remind himself why, when he's going to the gym, every time he does the Johnny Dumbbell Challenge, that he has to do that. Nobody's going to lift the weights for him. And if they do, he won't benefit. He's going to have to be able to do these things for himself. And he's got to love himself to stay consistent with that. But yeah, absolutely agree.
Okay, Johnny, Caden says that is also hurting him more than helping, going out without at least talking to therapy or going through self-confidence programs every day or most of the week.
No, I mean, I think that's a good first step. Yeah, I think that he's going to have to really kind of work on the fundamentals of how he actually feels about himself. No, you're right about that. But I mean, we're putting the cart ahead of, yeah.
Caden, as far as the self-confidence programs, he's found us. So he's going to have a new discipline in his life that he's never had before. And how you do one thing is how you do everything. And once Johnny and I work with him a little bit and he becomes more disciplined, he will become more confident as a result of his discipline. Now, Clyde says Skywalker for sure. Harry Potter can eat a fat one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to go with you there. Yeah. All right.
And then we got Dizzy says, have you guys ever heard of Mike Hunt?
Have what? We have. Dude, I actually heard that joke for the first time. That actually reminds me of Porky's. That was a great flick. It really does. All right, so yeah, I would say
we got one more question tonight. And you know what? Our phone lines are open. Nephews, if you have any of your own questions, call up. Or if you just want to troll Johnny, call up. Hey, if you're gonna call in and troll, though, make sure you're a good troll, because
Yeah, like,
I'm gonna
make it
ask
funny
some
at least.
questions, and TK is not gonna let any bitch assness slide.
Nah, he's not good. He's not very tolerant there. Yeah. So we got question 3. This is from David, and I got to tell you, I'm kind of bummed that I feel bad. This is almost entertaining, but it's actually kind of crappy the way this whole thing happened. So David says, my date bailed after saying she was going to the restroom, and then she blocked me. Dude. So he says, I matched.
Wait. All right. Really?
This is going to take a couple turns. He says, I matched with this girl last weekend on Hinge. After messaging back and forth for a while, I asked her out for drinks. How long is a while, first of all? And she said yes. We met at 6 p.m. at her favorite bar that she goes to a lot. Everything was going great, talking about job, family, travel, and laughing a lot. She even did that thing that you guys always talk about girls doing when they laugh and touch your arm. She gave me her number halfway through the date. I'm sorry, you didn't have her phone number before you met her in person?
That's okay.
So, okay. All right, fine, whatever.
Well, look, some of the dating apps, you can you write, you can even video.
That's what he said,
audio, and
Yeah, he said he said we were only messaging on Hinge. Anyway, he said about 10
and,
p.m. We were still.
That's on him for not instructing that woman. He'd say, "Hey, here's my number. You need to text me. You need to call me." So he's not dictating terms. He's not leading the interaction. Yeah. She knows he's a sucker already. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you should be comfortable enough after that little bit of a conversation to be able to say, "I'm not going to ask you if I'm going to give you. Here's my number. Let's do this." But anyway, he says, anyway, around 10 p.m., which, by the way, is 4 hours later, we were still having a good time. And she said she had to go to the bathroom. She got up, walked to the bathroom on the other side of the bar. After 10 minutes went by, I thought something was up, so I texted her. No response. I got up and asked the bartender if he saw her, and he said, yeah, I saw her leave, but she said she texted you. I didn't get any text, and when I checked Hinge, she had unmatched me and blocked me. What am I missing, and what happened? P.S. I'm sure some of your... Well, hold on. This is an important part. He says, P.S. I'm sure that some of your viewers might be wondering, so I'll just say that I was a gentleman, and I did not mention anything about going home or sleeping together. That's all.
No, I want to know, bro. I want to know who paid the bill. Well, we know who paid the bill, Johnny.
Hold up. What are we missing here? What are we missing? Because she told the bartender that she texted you. What the fuck is that even about?
At one of her local spots. And look. Okay, so I'll do that sometimes just to see how friendly a woman is with everybody there. You know what I mean? If she's really overly friendly with everybody there, that could be a red flag.
I'll tell you what happened.
So he goes to this woman's spot where she drinks all the time, and he sits at the bar with her for 4 hours buying her drinks. And then when her dude texted her that it was time to come get pounded, she slid out the back, unmatched him, and ghosted him.
And you don't got stuck with a fucking $200 bar tab.
Yeah, I mean, I think he expected the bar tab, but I think he expected to, make a little something on the side. And see, yeah, I mean, I hate to say it because I'm sure he wasn't inappropriate. I'm sure that he was so not inappropriate that he made sure he spent a good amount of money to make sure she knew that he wasn't inappropriate. And I don't know, man. Here's the thing. First of all, you sat there for 4 hours. Now, let's say this girl was legit interested in you, but you sat there for 4 hours. You gave yourself way too much time to talk your way out of her bedroom. You spent way too long talking yourself out of her pants, even if you were in there in the first place, which I got to tell you probably weren't.
Yep.
Now, I can let that all slide. I could let all of that slide, except for the fact that in 4 hours, I promise you a couple of things you didn't tell us. Number one, you poured your heart out and laid every single card you had in the deck on the table. Number two, I'm sure that you wanted to impress her with the kind of drinks that you can order because that's how sophisticated you were, and you were ordering her some drinks as well. I am sure that you did everything in your power to impress this girl, and that's why you think you were a gentleman. And maybe you were, because, hey, you didn't talk about sex, right? That automatically qualifies you. the fact of the matter is that whether this girl was playing you or whether you were trying to play her, or whether the two of you were playing each other without either of you realizing it, the fact of the matter is at the end of the night, you spent 4 hours and probably like Uncle what the hell Uncle Bebop said, you spent 4 hours of your precious time. I can't not smile when I say that name. You spent 4 hours of your precious, expensive, irreplaceable, by the way, time, no matter how wealthy you are. And I think that's even more than the 200 and some odd dollars you spent on drinks. But guess what? It doesn't matter because you blew both.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: 4 hours. 4 hours is ridiculous. Gone with the Wind isn't 4 hours long. Yeah, I don't think.
And that much time drinking, more than likely, man, you were acting a little bit different than you thought you were acting, anyways. That's a lot of time to consume alcohol. I know 4 hours drinking, sitting there talking. Man, I'm fucked up after 4 hours, dude. You know what I mean?
And who's to say he wasn't hoping for that too? You know, he wants to get her a little bit loose with the alcohol. This chick just wanted some free drinks and found her way home.
Kane says, plus 4 hours, that could have gotten you far, but leaving it to waste, you just fumbled that mega hard.
Yeah.
I mean, he was never going to get it to begin with, gentlemen.
No.
So how can you fumble something you don't have? He
well,
never
I think
got the ball to begin with. He was
because here's the thing.
She baited him down there, and this is why we do this on Thursdays, while we break down these dating profiles.
Well, I want you to consider something.
There are women out there like this that want to finesse you men, and we want to make you aware of it. We're raising awareness. Sir,
okay, but
you are a sucker and a simp, and she could tell that from your profile. That's why she had you meet her at her bar, and you went for it. Johnny, I'd be willing to bet that not only did he go there, he probably drove like almost an hour to get there. How much do you want to bet?
Oh, he went way out of his way because she's hot. And see, the thing of it is that, and I think what Caden's trying to say, though, is if he would have, she might not have even known until she got there whether or not he was going to be that simp. Because maybe if he would have kept the conversation lighthearted, witty, and funny, and kept the actual time allotment to an hour or less, and made it a round or two of drinks tops, he might have had a better shot. But no, she wanted to see him, and she shit tested him to see how long he would stay and to see how many rounds he would buy. So she could have made up her mind sitting right in front of him. Is this the guy that I bang, or is this the guy that I get to pay my bills? And she figured that out in less than 4 hours, but hey, free drink.
Hey, Brandy says she knew within 5 minutes if you are getting it. Shout out to Brandy.
Yeah. And listen, man, Clyde's right too, man. Clyde's got a point too, man.
Clyde says leave a little mystery, spend an hour or so tops, leaves room for another date, and you got to leave yourself opportunity for the next time. Shout out to Clyde.
Absolutely.
Always a pleasure when you stop by, sir. Thank you for giving the nephews the game.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely a situation where my dude is probably rich but not too smooth, kind of like a cheap beer. I think what's happening here is that this was something where he thought that being the nice guy and being the generous guy and showing generosity and showing niceness, and unfortunately with a girl like this, you really only showed your weakness. And the thing of it is that is not really her fault for preying on you. It is actually your fault because you consented to spending all this money. You were the one who decided that money was no object, and you're pissed off because she left before you could get what you thought you deserved, is what it really kind of sounds like. And if I'm wrong, I'm terribly sorry. You could follow up and call me an asshole, but I'm telling you right now, this reeks of that. It really does, man.
There's a natural order to things, man. If you're hunting, then you're not the prey. If you're not hunting, then you are the prey. It's as simple as that. And she was the one hunting. So you had to be the prey. I mean, someone's got to be the prey. You know what I mean? But look, girl's right, man. She knew within 5 minutes of sitting down whether it was going to go anywhere or not, whether she was going to give you some ass, whether she even, liked the way you looked, anything.
Whether she was going to give you some ass or you were going to give her some shots.
Yeah. Yep.
So here's the thing. I really think that this guy, you stand on, I don't have enough information to really give him the game on how to prevent this from happening again, because you have to have a certain, you got to have a plan. You went into this with no plan at all, following her plan. So let us at least do that. Let us give you a plan for how to conduct yourself on your next date. So first of all, you're not going to go meet a woman where she tells you she's at or she wants you to come. You're going to go do a little bit of homework. You're going to find somewhere within 20 minutes of you, preferably within 10 minutes of you, in case you are drinking too long to drive and you need to get home with a bus, a Uber. You know, we don't condone drunk driving here. So if you are drinking, you should be doing it somewhere a little closer to your place so it's easier for you to get home without driving.
Yeah, you met her at dinner time and she left you at going out time.
Secondly, we want you to keep your dates to 60 to 90 minutes. Like Caden said, Clyde. Clyde nailed it. So you don't want to spend too long with her, and you should be able to ascertain within an hour if you want to have another date with her. Here's the thing, though. Here, we're going to tell you stuff that nobody else will. That's why we're your favorite uncles. You went into that date with expectations of pussy, sir. That's why you kept going round after round. That's why you kept staying hour after hour. You thought at some point she was going to look at you and say, hey, let's get out of here. But that didn't happen.
Well, it kind of happened. She doesn't say let's.
Bruises the ego, don't it?
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing, though. You shouldn't go into dates with any expectations. You should be going into dates trying to vet them and looking for reasons to get rid of them. So, because I want to know what she did to even deserve that level of attention from you, let alone that much money on a bar tab, 4 hours of drinking.
Look, bro, nice guy finished last, dude.
She's drinking Patron shots.
4 hours of drinking and about a 30-second run to the car. That was it.
Yeah. I mean, dude, look, if you go out with a chick worrying about being nice, then you're not worrying about being yourself, because you're compensating in areas, you know, trying to be polite and trying to be a gentleman. And right off the bat, even if you are a nice guy, it's a facade, because you were there to get some pussy, man. You know what I mean? If you would have had a completely different approach with that chick, like, you know, you didn't give a fuck where it was going to go, you probably would have got laid.
Yeah, easily. But the thing of it is that you didn't do that. You tried to fit her program. You tried to be what she wanted. Even if, and the worst part of it is, you thought you were going to do that by getting her a little tipsy and spending way the hell too much money on her alcohol. You thought you were going to get in there by stimulating her with 4 hours of conversation, probably bringing up, like they say on Family Guy, the catcher in the rye, like Holden Caulfield was a visionary. He wasn't. He was a spoiled brat who thought he deserved things to fall in his lap. And I think that's what you thought was going to happen as you bought drink after drink after drink, man. And you feel duped because you spent money and you went home with, look, I'm going to say you went home with your dick in your hand, man. Sorry.
With your hand, yo.
All right, Claude says any more than about 90 minutes means you just tucked yourself into the chair in the corner of the room. Do the deed,
facing the wall.
Watch somebody else do
I like that, my dude. Yep.
That's
right.
Yeah, we got a word for that. Yeah, I mean that's exactly what happened, because here's the thing. I'll bet you, and here's the thing, if you don't work on yourself, if you don't decide and respect your own self-worth, I promise you that this chick will call you in a couple of weeks and you'll gladly take her out for drinks again. She'll be there to apologize and tell you how sorry she is and that this is what happened. And it's such a ridiculous story that you'll believe it. And the thing of it is that, and that's what's going to happen if you don't listen to us. That's what's going to happen if you wrote this letter or this email and you took all this time and you didn't watch this show. And even if you didn't absorb the message of what the three of us are trying to tell you, and believe me, we're not telling you this because we saw it in the movie. We're telling you this because if we haven't personally gone through it, we've witnessed other people going through it, both in person, because, you know, in the 90s, that's how we used to do things, and online, and with the kinds of questions that we get in here. So understand, we're not answering you from a prospecting perspective. We're not answering you from some sort of speculation here. We're answering you because we have screwed up. And I mean by screwed up, I mean it's like we've been on the bottom our entire life, screwing up. That's how bad we screwed up. You don't need to do it the way we did it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Look.
Well, look, as we say all the time, the why doesn't matter. Why she got up and left doesn't matter. What does matter is how you conduct yourself moving forward. So go have a place that you like to meet women for drinks at, close to your crib. Keep your dates to 60 to 90 minutes. And keep watching and tuning in for more tips. And I'll tell you how to get to the second date. In fact, I just put up some shorts on my channel. Make sure you go to my channel and subscribe. Shout out to me. And I'll give you the game on how to get to the second date, sir. So we got another comment from Clyde. Clyde says, Johnny, you know the old bull in the dumbbell story.
God.
Don't be too eager and leave some mystery and you will dominate, period.
Young men. And Harry, man, Clyde, I cannot believe that I have never told this story on this show. But Clyde is referring to I can't remember what the hell the movie was, but it was Emilio Estevez and somebody else. I think it was Robert Duvall or some shit. But anyway, the point is, he says, let me tell you a little bit of a story here. One day, there was a young bull and an old bull sitting up on a hill watching over a pasture full of cows. And the young bull says to the old bull, hey, Dad, what do you say we go? What do you say we go? One of those cows.
What do you say we run
for a second and says, "Oh yeah, I can say it, can't I?" Anyway, the old bull says, "You know, that's a great idea, but I got a better idea. How about we walk down there, ease the gate open, take a drink from the trough, say hello to a few, and then bang all of them."
Hey, listen, fellas. Here's a little bit of free advice. You got to have a little bit of mongrel in you. You know what I mean? You got to have a little bit of mongrel in you. Have a little bit of bite. Women don't like guys who are nice, that they think that they can control, man. You know what I mean? That they do for a little bit, but
yeah, they're looking for strong. They're looking for non-codependent, and that kind of simp attitude is anything but. Because here's the thing, you've already shown her that you're willing to grovel at her feet, and chances are a woman like this already doesn't have a high opinion of herself. So now you take this woman who already doesn't have a very high opinion of herself, and you're sitting there worshiping her by buying her like margaritas that she can't even fucking pronounce. And you're sitting here worshiping this woman who already knows she's not, you know, the Queen of Sheba you're making her out to be. If you want to make a gold statue out of her, make a gold fucking statue out of her. But the fact of the matter is if she thinks little of herself, she's going to think even less of you when you do it. Use your head and start vetting these women and make sure that you have a program, number one. And number two, when you do, they're going to have to fit it. And if they don't, what do we tell them, Uncle Bill?
Blessings on your journey. Best of luck in your endeavors, boo. Hey, nephews, sometimes you're just better off getting rid of them. So it don't matter how pretty their face is. It doesn't matter how round their ass is. There's always other women out there. And the thing of it is you're probably more compatible with somebody else than you are with that woman that's giving you problems and just messing up your energy. So that's why I'm a big advocate for walking away. I'm protecting my energy. Shout out to Kevin Gates.
Hey, listen, because, man, if you keep a female around you, man, that when you're around her, you always feel exhausted, you know what I mean? Then she's taken away from your energy, man. She's killing your vibe, dude. Get rid of her ass, bro.
She can't be out of your league if you're the commissioner.
All right. Well, gentlemen, the problem with that is these guys get comfortable. They get comfortable and complacent. They get comfortable and afraid of change with pussy. And then they don't want to lose that. And then combined with their own self-loathing, they think that they can't do better. So then they start to let these women ride roughshod over them. And it just goes downhill from there, man. So that's why we're here. We're trying to help you guys be more masculine men, learn how to be leaders, learn how to have self-love. We're here for you, nephews, whatever you need. And with that, we're going to be back Thursday night with our Bumble breakdown, where we're breaking down women's dating profiles. Because look, hey, fellas, we know most of this stuff is cap, but because it doesn't apply to you when you can make them break their rules for you. But it applies to everybody else, and it kind of gives you a little insight in how you should get at them. And we're here to help you break down these profiles, read in between the lines, and get at these women yourself. We're not just telling you what's going on in your profile. We also tell you what your approach should be with them, how to get at them, how to set up a date, how to match, where you should go on that date, how to set up a second date, and how to get her into the bedroom. Shout out to us.
Yeah, and by the way, like I said, Caden, please make sure, Caden, you tune in Thursday night, because that's where we do the Bumble profile breakdown. And if nothing else, you walk away entertained. But I think you'll learn a thing or two, and maybe enjoy a thing or two. So hey, tune in Thursday night.
Hey, nephews, it's all love here. Sometimes it's tough love, and I just want you to know that I appreciate every one of you that take the time to write in, every one of you that take the time to comment, every one of you that take the time to be a part of our show. Thank you for it. I genuinely appreciate you. Gentlemen, anything else either you want to say tonight before we end this?
Okay.
Positive vibes, fellas. Positive vibes.
Yeah, and my big thing is it's going to be about 3 days till we see you again. So please, no drugs or alcohol. But if you do drink, don't drive. And if you do drive, don't park, because accidents cause people. Good night.